So how many times a day do people ask you when your vaccine is going to be available?
Yes, well, that's definitely a very regular question, whether it's from employees, customers, governments, media, or my mother. So very frequently. And obviously, we've all been delighted to see the very recent news of some of the first results that's coming through on vaccines. Yesterday, I was just on a call last night with 10 of the global pharma CEOs who are all very heavily involved in bringing solutions to COVID, and we're really excited and optimistic to see some of the first data coming through, and looking forward to seeing a lot more in the next 6 months or so. We have 3 vaccines in the clinic and 2 therapeutic treatments.
So some people are not willing to take a vaccination. Some people have said in surveys in the United States, only 25% or less of people say they want to take this vaccine because they think it's either been politicized and not sure it's safe, or some people just don't like vaccines anyway. Are you worried that people won't take the vaccine?
Well, yes, of course. I do think, and we remain concerned about vaccine hesitancy, but we also have to be incredibly respectful about why people have these questions. Have we been able to move fast? Have the companies put in the right kind of processes and scales of trials? What transparency are we going to bring to these processes? And why do you hear about things being stopped and started again? What does all of this mean? So I think our job is to make the commitments we have, and we have very publicly about that alongside other manufacturers, but also make sure we share data transparently and partner with governments who ultimately are those that guide in different countries around policies and distributions to reassure people.
Now, you're a member of the Microsoft board,
I am.
so I assume you have a fair degree of background now in technology and IT and other things like that. How have you been able to apply that to what you're doing at GSK?
Well, I would never describe myself as having a background in technology and IT, and I'm absolutely sure that was not why I was brought onto the Microsoft board. But it's an extraordinary company doing extraordinary things in an incredibly responsible way at a time when technology is changing the world, and industries, and I believe can be an incredible force for good. It'll be interesting to see what we look back on the 2020s as standing for and meaning, and what evolved. No doubt 2020, loads of people will be writing books about how to lead through a COVID crisis. But I think most of us believe that there will be other, huge global issues that we'll have to address, like climate change and inclusive economic recovery, etc. But I also believe health resilience will be on the agenda, and the advances that the world has seen in biology, all of the genetics and genomics data that's coming through, at the same time as the advances the world has seen in AI and machine learning, combined together, have a real shot over the next decade to improve the productivity of R&D and science in my industry incredibly. It is really hard to discover new drugs and vaccines. 90% of them fail. It takes a long time. Obviously, the world is mobilized right now to get to faster solutions. And I hope we learn lessons in a way we partner with regulators and use new technologies to permanently accelerate some of these processes.